How do? Just walking down here today with Stephen. Little old lady on my side at Ruard. So as it gets closer, she starts moving towards edge at curb. Got Stephen, stepped into Ruard, waved a pass, ladies to the inside. Big smile. Thank you, young man. Lovely dog. That's all it takes, guys. You know, she did look really sad. Bit of a smile on her face. Wave her through. So today, a couple of stories. And then I'm going to try and give my take on one of the big questions a lot of people are asking me. One of my stalkers from Forest Bank gets a bit upset, sends me a message now and again. So I'm going to explain this for the last time. Stephen, when I'm talking about prison officers, come on kid, stealing other people's stories, I'm not on about people telling other people's stories. I'm on about them placing themselves in them stories. Does that make sense? The story today, a young lady told me yesterday. Lovely lass, nurse I used to work with at Strangeways. It's from the horse's mouth. She was involved, she was there. I've told it before. It was really nice for her to tell it me and fine-tune a few points. Before I tell that, in fact no, I'm going to tell it now. Let's start today with a bit of humour. Lee, maybe a warning sign, viewer discretion. Anybody who's got meat and 2 veg between the legs might want to cover up. I'll turn off now. So let's get into it. My mate is on nights on A-Wing at Strangeways. Cell bell. Cell bell, again, those who might not know, in the cell, emergency cell bell. Prisoner can press it. Officer used to, not now, used to have to come to the cell, cancel the bell, speak to the prisoner. Now you can answer the bell from the office, but at this time you had to attend. So 3 times my mate attends. This lad, every time he's back on the bed. So he's obviously getting out of bed, pressing the bell, getting back in bed. My mate 3 times. What's wrong? I need a nurse. Why do you need a nurse? I'm not telling you, you'll laugh. Then I'm not getting a nurse. 4th time of asking, pulls back the sheet. This lad, let's call him Damo, has got a shampoo bottle stuck on his dick. Yeah, you've heard me right. So all you gentlemen that are looking down now or grasping your meat and 2 veg, I fully understand. Neck of a shampoo bottle, yeah? Have a look at it. I'll tell you about that bit in a bit from the lovely nurse. M, we're going to call her. So my mate laughs, calls for the nurse to attend. 2 nurses on nights, one who works on inpatients, one who works on outpatients, usually travel together, and they carry a radio. The nurse attends along with the Oscar 1 and Oscar 2. Quick refresher, Oscar 1 and Oscar 2 are the shift managers. There's no governor on nights. The Oscar 1 is a principal officer. The Oscar 2 was usually a senior officer from the security department. Also, Strangeways being a high security prison, When you opened anyone at night, the protocol was you needed a dog handler. So there's 2 nurses, a dog handler, Oscar 1, Oscar 2 and my mate. The 2 nurses go in the cell. The other guys are outside, absolutely wetting themselves. You know, absolutely pissing themselves. And I understand why. So the first thing this lovely nurse M says is how you manage that. So apparently, I'm sorry for the description guys, apparently while soft he has put his dick in the shampoo bottle and then he has made himself hard or erect. How she describes it, and she's not behind door, this nurse, she's worked in casualty, removing things from people's orifices, shall we say. She described it as looking like a boiled egg, multicoloured, purple, red and blue. Yeah, and it's blown up with the suction and it's well stuck. So she has a thing. Again, she's taking this serious, or as serious as she could, because she's a nurse. The staff outside are pissing themselves. And why wouldn't you? This lad, by the way, at this point, is cheery-ish. Yeah, a little bit of pain, still smiling, apparently not at all embarrassed. And why would you be? With a bell end the size of a boiled egg. So the first thing she thinks of, she goes away, she comes back with some equipment. It's got a scalpel, a surgical blade, yeah, quite a big surgical blade. So she thinks, get the surgical blade out, comes in a packet, undo it in front of him, fear. Ooh, you know what I'm saying, guys? Gets it out, unwraps it, nothing. Boiled egg, multicoloured, boom, still there. Thinking again now, she's thinking like an engineer, this nurse, lovely lass. I like how she thinks right, cold water. So they get a bucket from somewhere, yeah, some ice, I don't know where they got that from in prison, cold water, ice, Damo has to dip his dick with a shampoo bottle on it in the cold water. What she'd already done, I forgot to tell you, cut the bottle in half, so there's no vacuum, and also dipping it in the water, direct contact with the boiled egg, multicoloured boiled egg. Don't work. Still erect. Oscar 1 still laughing, Oscar 2 still laughing, my mate laughing, dog handler laughing. So the nurse then says to the Oscars, you're gonna have to get an ambulance. Not laughing now. Why do you need an ambulance? Well, apparently, you know, he may well need some sort of surgical intervention, whatever may there be, or some drugs. And he needs to go out, we can't do anything with him. By this time, 20 minutes has gone. He's looking a bit more serious now and in a bit of pain. Very difficult to get an ambulance into a prison. The first thing you've got to do is somebody's phoning for an ambulance. Yeah, we need an ambulance to Strangeways. You can imagine the conversation, can't you? This guy, Damo, has put his dick in a shampoo bottle. He's got a bell end, multicoloured, like a boiled egg. We can't get it out. So you've got to get an ambulance there. Someone needs to decide that this may be emergency. The Oscar 1's not happy, he's going to lose staff. In Strangeways at night, 1200 prisoners, approximately 13, maybe 14 staff. So at least 2 of them staff are going out on escort with this lad. So Oscar's now not laughing. They get him out to hospital. By the time they get him to hospital, he's coming up to 4 hours since he first rang his cell bell. It's very serious now. Apparently, guys, after 4 hours, the flesh starts dying. That's how the lovely nurse, M, explained it to me. So they try the ring cutter first in A&E. The ring cutter, you imagine someone damages your hand, male or female, goes into the hospital, fingers are swelled up, you've got a wedding ring off, the ring cutter is there to cut it off. don't work. I think they tried a few other things, she said, but it's becoming more serious now and this guy's in pain. Yeah? If you're still watching, it's nearly over, guys. So in A&E, someone makes a decision to call the maintenance department. I'm going to cut it short now, guys. Yeah? By this time, the boiled egg's going black. Yeah? The maintenance department come with what was described to me as a big pair of pliers or a wrench. They attach it to what's left of the shampoo bottle and bang! Just like that, it's off and it's out. Yeah? Save the day and save the dick. Thanks, lovely Em, for that story. Not quite finished. When she finished her shift that day, she's walking out in the morning. Prison officers being prison officers, everyone already knows about this. She's walking down the main drag out of the jail. Everyone walking past. Wahey! Wahey! Various comments, miss. She goes off shift, big smile on her face. About a week later, she sees Damo walking down that same drag. 7 other prisoners, officer escorting him. So she thinks, to save his blushes, she'll move as far away as she can, walk up the fence, head down. To get level, Damo shouts out, "Miss, thanks for saving my cock." Everyone laughs. She looked up, cherried up, away you go. That weren't my story, but I did enjoy it, as it were. Hope that made some of you smile. Same nurse. Now this is sad. I only found this out yesterday after speaking to her, and it did make me angry. She was involved in an incident on E-Wing. I'm going to talk about a death in custody. I'm just going to warn people, you know, in case anyone wants to tune out. Somebody on E-Wing, some of my mates were involved, very good officers. I found a prisoner, big lad, big unit, similar in stature to me, a bit heavier. He's dead, hanging, gone. They cut him down. She's reporting this. She was the Hotel 1 that day, I believe. And if she wasn't, she's attended as a nurse. She's heard Hotel 1, which is a call sign for the nurse to attend. They had a couple of codes. I think it's code blue, that's prisoner unconscious. So she's attended. This lad hanging, they've cut him down. Again, apologise for this, guys. When you die, your bowels and everything let go. Yeah? So there's no polite way of putting it. There's shit and piss everywhere. Miraculously, I don't know how, they got him back breathing. I don't know, that's when the paramedics arrived or before. But the staff, stroke nursing staff, they were doing CPR for a long time on this lad, I'll tell you now. Got him back breathing. Stevie? So, I've seen the aftermath. We knew what was going on, we'd heard the call sign. The bottom end of V-Wing, as I'm walking down the main drag, I sees the staff coming out carrying a stretcher. There's an ambulance, there's paramedics. Big lad this, 6 or 7 of them carrying the stretcher. This lass, lovely lass, stood out. She was in a prison tracksuit. They'd been on the floor, giving CPR, all covered in shit and piss. Again, I'm sorry, that's how it is. So as I'm looking, seeing him come out, this is where my bit comes in. I sees her walking at the side of the stretcher. She's bent over. She's in pain. But as I'm looking, all the focus is on this lad. It's almost surreal. I'm looking at her, she's in pain. No one is seeing her in pain. Any prisoners been in Strangeways? You know the main entrance, the bottom jail. Steps, at the bottom of the steps there's a bench. They put this lad on the ambulance, it goes. All the staff disappear. This lass is now sat on the bench. in a prison tracksuit. I goes over to her. She's in pain, this lass. Apparently what happened, they've got this lad breathing. They're carrying him out of the cell. A lot of them. She's on one corner, you know, shoulder, arm. He's come round. I've seen it before. When they come round people, it's almost like an explosion. A big gasp of air, and he's thrown his arms and legs out. He's flattened her. She's gone straight to the floor. Bam. Squashed her down, compressed her back. She's now on this bench with me. Nobody, everyone's gone. Governor coming up from reception, beckons him over. What's up? I need an ambulance. What do you need an ambulance for? This lass, she's in pain. Why? What's she done? Short explanation. The governor don't phone an ambulance. He gives me his radio, governor's radio. He goes on his way. Yeah, so this is a governor at Strangeways. Give me his radio and goes on his way. So gets on the radio to ECR, emergency control room. Officer Samworth told them where I were, told them the situation. The lass on the other end, straight on it. Yeah, no questioning me, no questioning the incident, orders an ambulance. Yeah, I knew that lass. She was a good one. At this time, this lass now, she's incoherent. I'm sort of cuddling her, you know. I'm fucking angry, obviously, you know. I'm not blaming the staff. The staff had obviously been through some trauma then, and they're all off. Yeah, they've all gone. It's not them. But the prison governor, come on. Ambulance comes. Yeah. I think Bradders, it was, come down from healthcare to see how she was. The only person that came down was Bradders. The ambulance come. We got a stretcher out. I must tell you, as well, prisoners were walking up and down being escorted. One lot, you know, started talking to me. You're right, Mr. S, laughing and joking. I said, lads, please. And they took a wide berth. You know, not all bad. Saw the situation, stopped laughing and joking, took a wide berth. Ambulance crew had to give her, I know they give her gas and air and some drugs as well. Couldn't get her up, couldn't straighten her up, couldn't get her on a stretcher. She was crying. She was incoherent. Got her in the ambulance. I got in the ambulance with the governor's radio, which went to hospital with me. Yeah? Got to hospital. Some of her family members had been informed and they were there. I phoned the prison, got a taxi back to the prison. When I was talking to her yesterday, she said, what were you doing at hospital? I said, I went in the ambulance. She had no idea, she had no clue. She didn't know how she got to hospital, she didn't know I was there. She was out of it, obviously in pain. All you that work in offices, engineering, wherever, must be quite clear this is an industrial accident. She's been doing a job, saving somebody's life, and she's hurt her back. Her back's still fucked to this day. Yeah? This was one of 2 periods of sickness she had, long periods of sickness. They finished her from Strangeways. She never put a claim in for this, you know, didn't cry bad back injury. They finished her. I said to her, I had no idea, me, if you'd have brought me in, I'd have said, witness, you know, she's hurt her back. Very sad state of affairs. But there you go. All the best, sweet. Speak soon. Right, 2 little stories done. I'm going to try and address a question now that a lot of people are asking. Who is toughest, hardest, most dangerous, most evil person you've ever come across? Very difficult to say that. Not a lot of serious fights in prison. They've had people, excuse me, on the Cat A unit, you know, known fighters. very dangerous individuals. So it's very hard to judge. I haven't worked with a lot of them. You know, lad called, I think it was Bieber, not the singer. I think he killed a couple of coppers, brutally murdered a couple of coppers, American. Bodybuilder type guy, short in stature, very, very dangerous. You know, lots of other people we've had. Special units, close supervision unit at Strangeways. Dangerous personality disorder unit at Franklin. These units spread all over the prison system. A lot of these prisoners are dangerous. Some prisoners who end up on these units come in, normal guys, misbehave, get put in the challenging behaviour system and end up on these units. Obviously, if you're considered a dangerous personality, you might end up on that unit at Franklin. Some of these people, you know, they get a big sentence, they'll misbehave, they'll calm down, they'll come back to normal location. Some of these prisoners should never come back to normal location. Let me explain further. Going back to the killers of Lee Rigby, one of them is already making a bit of a name for himself, the other one not so much. Mentality, you know, look at what they did. That lad, for me, like many others, Bieber, Cregan, build a supermax, like in America, everything's electronic cells, you know, gates, put staff this side, prisoners that side, yeah? Now you can fit these units out for whole of life, and these terrorists and other dangerous people, with everything you want for me, PlayStations, TVs, obviously TVs behind perspex, make it as safe as possible. Showers they can associate with each other. If they need moving out of that area into an area where there's staff, do what they do in America. They back up to a gate, they put their hands through, they're cuffed. Some of these people get a mentality, they're never getting out of prison. They're never getting out. There was a terrorist on the close supervision unit at Strangeways. Tall, skinny lad, about 6'3", yeah? When he came into prison, he said he would cut a prison officer's throat. At some point, that lad, in his career, might well end up back on normal location, yeah? I know he's still going to be in his mind, yeah? And he's going to be somewhere, maybe 5, maybe 10 years. He'll be on a landing, there'll be a female member of staff or a male member of staff chatting to someone, and he'll come up behind him with a bladed, and bam, throat cut. I tell you who won't be there, yeah? People at prison service headquarters, yeah? Politicians, activists, reformists, all these wallers who want human rights, give everyone a chance. Some of these people are that dangerous, they don't deserve a chance. Try and understand that. We had a prisoner at Strangeways called Jetta. He's one of these prisoners, very dangerous. Close supervision unit, maybe 4 staff, 3 prisoners out at any one time, maybe 5 prisoners actually housed there. He was on top of the seg. This lad had a very good attempt at murdering 2 staff. You heard that right, murdering 2 staff. Everyone involved in that incident, the 2 staff, people who were there, people who were first on scene, it affected badly, yeah? A lot of them out of the job. Some of them out of the job with severe mental problems. They weren't looked after. Prison service don't look after people. Police don't look after people. You know. It's a dangerous job. No politicians there. No prison service headquarters. No activists, no reformists, no human rights wallers. These people in these special units get a lot of professional attention, psychologists and the likes. Prison staff who were nearly murdered, prison staff who were there attending, other prison staff who attended later, severely affected, fuck all. They got nothing. So when you're talking about fighters, dangerous, all this sort of thing, very hard to quantify. There is a couple of characters I will discuss in a future video. But there you go, guys. Terrible situation, no support, no help. Thanks for coming. Again, thanks to new subscribers, thanks for all your comments, all the positivity. Hope you have the best day possible. Cheers. Parting shot. Come here, kid. I'll do again, as always, guys. Forgot a few details. So, the lad who was hanging, he went to hospital. He was in a coma for a good while. He had been dead when staff revived him a long time. What that is, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, it was a long time. He was in a coma, and when he woke up from that coma, there was no brain damage, miraculously. So that lad came to healthcare, obviously, for a good period of time. I remember him coming on healthcare. His ligature marks were the worst I've ever seen. His neck was badly bruised. Probably more horrific looking at it than, you know, and I don't say this off the cuff, one or two throats I'd seen where people had a good go at cutting their throats. A bit more about this lad. He was a kiddie rapist, paedophile, nonce, whatever you want to call him, beast. You know, people have all these names, whatever you want to say. The reason he tried to take his own life, couldn't deal with the fact what he'd been charged with, found guilty of, and banged to rights apparently. You know, he was caught doing the most disgusting thing to a young child. So he was, you know, there was no "I didn't do it, Your Honour." He was guilty. He couldn't live with that. He went on to Risley Prison at some point, where he did it that time. He hung himself. So a couple of points. I was asked, I've been asked on the podcast before, if you saw someone hanging, sex offender, rapist, paedophile, would you save their life? The staff on Ewing Outer saved his life. The nursing staff, you know, were responsible for a lot of that, and obviously the paramedics, when they arrived, did their bit. You do what you do. Some people may not have gone in that cell. People I know, good officers, did go in that cell. So, you know, everyone's going to have a different opinion on that, what's right and what's wrong. He went to Risley, like I said, he did the job right. He hung himself. He was a death in custody. Now, there will have been a coroner's, the ombudsman will have gone to prison, interviewed people, there'd been a coroner's court with the staff, nursing staff and such like from Risley, an inquest into why he died. People might think, you know, if he tried once, why is he not on constant obs? You can't keep someone on constant obs forever. You can put them on an ACT form, assessment, care and custody, and teamwork. It don't keep people alive. If someone truly wants to take their own life, they will. However, at that coroner's court, with all the Risley staff, nursing staff, etc., the press, everything else, no one person will have mentioned staff at Strangeways, nursing staff, prison staff who saved his life. I've been involved in saving people's lives. Not always first hand, you know, you might turn up, do what you can. My mate, Nobby Nobler, who I used to work with, talked about me before, very proud man, cracking prison officer. Probably one of my favourite ever to work with him. Worked with him on K-Wing when it was electric, dangerous, exciting, everything you want to say. He found a lad hanging on nights. On nights you have a pouch with a key in that's sealed. It's a cell key. If you break the seal on that pouch, you need to do paperwork. He found the lad hanging, radioed through, got his cell key out, ready to go in. As soon as he saw someone coming onto the landing, he was in. You do that for safety. You don't know the lad's blagging and there's someone in with him. Saved his life. He come back to Strangeways, that lad. He was in hospital a couple of weeks. On the landing, I think I'm not laughing for that reason. I think he was in the same cell, but I tell you what, joking aside, he was a tough lad, my mate, Nobby Noblet. Funny, dry, witty, it affected him. You know, he used to say jokingly, but I know it affected him. Every time he saw that lad walking on landing, it gave him nightmares. Nobody'd know about him if I weren't telling you now. Nobby Noblet. Yeah. Prison staff, on the whole, good people. They save lots of lives. Stop people getting bullied. Lots of other good things. It never gets a mention. Cheers. Thanks for coming.